Other than that, I am super, super excited about today. Greg, he is a 9-star diamond coach. He's hit elite 3 times. He's actually hit premier once as well. He's an SC5 and 10 legend, and he's hit Success Club 69 months in a row, which is pretty freaking impressive. And I know that, not only just those things, he's an amazing dad, amazing husband. He's pushing hard and, to always support his family. So, Greg, why don't you jump in here, introduce yourself a little bit to us, and how we can help you with your topic today with expanding our networks.
Okay. And also that year that I hit Premier, I missed Elite. I had the 2 diamonds. I missed Elite by 2 points, guys. So I know the meaning of failure and not, focusing at the end of the year. I just wasn't tracking it close enough. I didn't have, Robbie, as a resource. So it was a disaster. I had talked to, you guys know Craig Collier. I'm in his mastermind group, and I had talked, I had led one of our masterminds on what I was doing to expand my market in the UK. I think he thought it was good, and then maybe he mentioned to Rob, and then Rob asked me to share with you guys, and I can just share with you guys what I'm doing. Are you guys expanding much into the UK yet? Are you working on the UK?
I think a lot of them coaches here are, but some are, primarily focused here still in their US market. But I think there's a lot of interest with the UK.
Yeah. I know a lot of coaches, hit the ground running, like in the UK, as soon as it was announced. I wasn't that way. I was, one that kind of surveyed the landscape for a while and kind of try to figure out a strategy for how to get my team motivated, or maybe it was just delaying. I don't know, but procrastinating. I think around in August, like maybe 60 days before, I, got the team motivated, or at least a couple of my leaders motivated. And we really went after the UK. So I'll share with you guys what we did. And we ended up, pulling in about 150 people from the UK into a group where we were talking about coaching with them every day. We were going live in the groups. We were doing Zoom calls in the group. On launch day, we ended up, signing, at least a dozen UK coaches out of the, the 100 or so. And then, a whole bunch more customers. And then we still have a lot more that are in the pipeline. So I'm happy about that. I mean, we didn't kill it the way some coaches, obviously do, and some teams did. I know they did a lot. I mean, like, I'm sure Melanie Mitro probably pulled in 1,000 coaches from the UK. I don't know, but I'm happy with our progress, and we're continuing to get more. Okay, and so that's kind of what we're focused on. And the UK is 65 million people. That it's a brand new market, as you guys know, and it's people who haven't, heard a lot about. I mean, some obviously are really into Beachbody, but then there's a lot that have not really even heard of it. Where just about everyone in the U.S. has heard of it, been exposed to it. So, it's a really hot market. So I'll just share my screen with you and just kind of walk you through my process of what I did, if that's okay.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Greg, while you're sharing your screen, I mean, so did you run ads over there, or is that kind of in the presentation here? Because I was just wondering in regards to what was your best approach on that?
Yes, I ran ads. I went into groups. I had different approaches. So you're right. I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to start with that. So here is my ad that I started with. And you can see, I mean, it's on my like page, right? It's very simple. I just used a static image, and it was actually I just Googled it. And it was a stock image, and I added the UK the British flag around it, right? And I ran it, and I had a link to my website. And I told my coaches, you know, I mean, when I walked, you know, the coaches that wanted to do this with me, I walked them through it, and I said, you know, you don't have to have a blog. You don't have to have a website like I do. You can just do a Google form. And, you know, I walked them through how to do a Google form, and basically it, you know, essentially you can add the videos, and it looks essentially the same as my website. But let me show you my website. So if a user clicks on this link, right, it would take them to my blog, and here is the blog. And I included the video from Carl, right, where he was talking about the UK. And then I had a form where they could fill this out, and I just put that like right at the top. But then I also had a video of me and, you know, why join my team, right? And I talked about my team here, right? Why join our team. And then why Beachbody is going to the UK. And, you know, again, I put the form at the bottom. So, you know, standard stuff, stuff that you guys, I'm sure, all already do. So I had a couple of videos, you know, pictures, stuff like this. Now this form here, I thought this was interesting. You know, at least for me, I'm a very organized person. I'm a very systematic person. I'm a person who creates systems for my team and others. So what this form does is this links into Insightly. Insightly is a CRM system, and it was actually rated like the top CRM system in 2017, and I did some research. Now, I know a lot of Beachbody coaches use Team Z, and there's another one called something Ninja that Beachbody coaches use, and I'm sure you've all heard of those. And they're great, and if you love them, you know, obviously keep using them. But I don't like the idea, especially of training my new coaches on a system that So I love the ideas of the CRM system, you know, but I would rather them get it for free. So like Google Streak is great, but Google Streak, if you guys use that, it's kind of limiting. You know, you got to use Gmail, for example. You know, it doesn't have all the capabilities of Insightly. So let me show you, like, you know, if you fill this out and you submit it, what I do is I get a notification, right? And then I can go into Insightly, and you can see I have all these UK contacts, and I can add, you know, tags for these UK contacts. And basically that's where they are in my life cycle, right? So I can say, you know, show me all the ones that have received a welcome message, you know, or, you know, show me all the ones that are, you know, already been added to my Facebook group and that type of thing. So when they would come in, I could, you know, I could select them, which was great, and I could select multiples of them. And one reason I really liked Insightly is not only would it, you know, track information and notes, and I can add tasks and dates and reminders and stuff like that, but I love that I could automatically send them emails, and I could set up email templates. And I believe Google Streak does this as well, but, you know, I could do like templates, and I could send, you know, to all my contacts at one time in a template where it inserts their first name, and you say, you know, hi, so-and-so, and, you know, I give them a link to my Facebook so that they can send me a friend request, and I actually send them a video of, you know, me talking about the opportunity, and I tell them that I want to add them to my group on Facebook, right, where I can, you know, get them involved in our weekly calls and our Zoom and our Facebook Lives and stuff like that. So I really like the email, and obviously it tracks all the emails. So I keep a record of, you know, every email that I send to the person, and every time they respond, it's all in one place. So I thought that was really cool. And basically I could, you know, with the tags, I could group people, like I have dead leads, people that never responded to me. I deleted those after the launch. But, you know, follow up to. I create as many tags as I want. Now, Insightly does a lot more than this. I mean, you can set up organizations and opportunities where you have your pipelines, and you can even, use it for project management if you were in a real work situation. I mean, a real business situation, like corporate situation. But I really liked it just for the contacts and the email tracking. So, I just throw that out there.
Greg, do you mind if I ask you a question in regards to Insightly? Do you feel like it's an easier process with, than Google Streak? Or have you tried like, TeamZ and all of those, or do you feel like this is just an easier process for your team to learn? Or
I have used Google Streak and I like it, but there were some limitations on it. Like I said, like you had to use Gmail. Everything had to, I can like store notes in here, and I like that the form automatically fed into this, right? Automatically populated and created a contact for me. Now, and then I told my team that, obviously if they do a Google form, that Google form can send you an email notification as well. And then they could use Streak if they're already using that. But like I said, I'm sure TeamZ and the other ones are great. I just don't like the idea of coaches having to spend $30 a month,
Right. Especially brand new, and when they're still not, making a whole lot of money yet. Like, why pay $30 for Google Streak when you can get this program?
Right.
Basically does the
same.
same.
I have Google Streak. Like if you wanted to do some of the features, like the reminders and the notifications in Google Streak, they do charge you. I'm not sure what, but yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to, I don't know if it's, better or worse than whatever you're using, but I just wanted to throw that out to show you how I'm tracking my forms and stuff. Then, oops, sorry. That was a video from my webpage.
I thought that was like part of the presentation. I was getting kind of excited.
I know. Where is that coming from? Okay, so here is my ad manager, and you can see if you guys are familiar with Facebook ads, it's not like you just create one ad and then that brings you in, tons of people. You have to keep, changing your target market, playing around with your ad, so you can see, like I did create some, like here's one with just Sean T. I created one with less text to see if that would work. But the main thing that I'll show you is, how you can create an ad for engagement, or maybe you don't know, but you can create an ad for engagement, and that's basically likes and comments and things like that, which I did try down here. You can see I have a couple engagement ones. But those weren't as effective. You can see they're cheaper. They're 13 cents or 10 cents in engagement, which is pretty good. But the ones that were most effective were the ones where you could create an ad for traffic. And that's where you give a URL, right? So I gave a URL to my blog or to my form. And that's what I told my coaches to do. So you can see, like, I had a reach of 25,000 and 47,000 impressions. I don't understand how you have more impressions than reach, but maybe the same person clicking on it multiple times. But you can see I had 285 people click on it, right, on this particular ad, and it was 31 cents a click, and I spent $89, on that one. And then I had 188 clicks and 100 clicks on this ad and 200 clicks on this ad. And, basically I didn't set up like real long running over, I would do like a week and I would test it out. And then maybe I would change something, a picture or the text or something, And from that, from these ads, I brought in, and my other approaches, I personally, got 60 some, people that actually filled out the form, and I got their contact information and emails and was able to follow up with them. And a lot of them friended me on Facebook, and a lot of them got into my group. So that was good. Um, I also ran some Google ads. I don't know if you guys know about Google ads, but if you have a blog or something, you can set up Google AdWords, and you can run ads for Google AdWords. And just to let you know, I got in trouble for that because I was using keywords like Beachbody coach, become a UK Beachbody coach. And compliance contacted me and said I'm not allowed to use any of the reserved words, any of the trademarked words like Beachbody or, Sean T or, Sean T coach, insanity coach or something like that. You're not allowed to use. So, yeah, it makes it really hard to do Google ads without using the word Beachbody or UK. I mean, basically, then you have to use something like fitness coach or something.
I was just gonna say that. I'm like, did you just use like fitness instructor, or how did you word that?
Yes, I was doing really well until they shut me down there, and then I tried to switch over to like personal trainer, fitness coach, that type thing. But then your bids go way up, right? Because just think of the amount of people that are placing ads for fitness or fitness coach, or personal trainer. So that kind of killed it for me for the Google ads. But I still did really well on the Facebook ads, and bringing people in that way and getting their email and stuff like that. Now let me tell you about other things that I did. Let me see, where did it go? I would go into, I could show you my group. So here's my group that has 146 people in it right now. And I had a pin post that gave them information. And like I said, we would go live in there, and we still do. It's like, now I just treat it as this is my UK coach group, and we do team calls, and I have a team call every Monday at 8 p.m. their time. And we still, people in this group, even though not everyone is coaches, we still treat them like, give them more information if they're interested. But also what I did is I went into Facebook groups, like I searched for groups, right, in the UK. And I'm sure you guys all do that, right? The thing that I noticed was a lot of Beachbody coaches were already in the groups, right? So yeah, I wasn't really, trying to post in the group because, I didn't want to, I didn't want to get kicked out of the group or I saw some coaches were already posting in the group. So basically what I did was just try to strike up conversations. I know a lot of us do this, right? So I would do a lot of private messaging, and things like that of people in the group, just to try to start conversations to see if they, it's like, especially if they were in, like there were some Beachbody groups, some UK Beachbody groups, and I would just try to start up conversations to see what programs they're doing, what programs they're liking. And then this was interesting. One of my UK people that, got into my group, and he actually became a coach, and I developed a relationship with him and all. But before the launch, I was looking at his timeline, and he actually shared a Beachbody ad that, Beachbody had targeted to the UK people, which was awesome, because we don't see those ads, right? Because we're not in the UK. But it was a T25 video, and, he just shared it on his timeline that he was excited about it or whatever. So what I did is I went to that ad, right, from his timeline, and I could see that there were like 1,000 people that commented on it, right, in the UK. Every single one of them was in the UK, and there were, 10,000 likes. So what I started doing is I just started messaging every single person that commented on that thing, and Facebook, if you don't, you guys probably know this, but after you do like 100 requests or 100 messages in a day, Facebook shuts you down, right? They pop up that little box and they say, you can't send any more messages. You have to enter a code every time you want to send a message, right? So I would do like 100 a day until I got shut down, maybe and I think then you're shut down for like 24 hours. So then 24 hours later, I would do another 100. And then, I just started doing that as well. And, even though it's like, yeah, you send 100 message, that goes into their message request. And, maybe, a handful will respond and say, even though I'm just asking them, hey, I see you like, T25, have you done the program yet? I get a handful of them a day that would respond and strike up a conversation and, get them added into my group and stuff like that. Obviously you can do Instagram, hashtag searches. I'm not that big on Instagram yet, but I'm moving that way since that's seems to be the direction everybody's going. But that's basically what I did. And, I can tell you that I talked to other coaches who were focused on the fitness side. So I was targeting like the coaching opportunity, right? And I know coaches like Dave Atkins and Jamie Fitzpatrick, who I was talking to at Leadership. They started a lot earlier than I did. I know they had groups of like 500, and they were doing a lot of ads targeted just towards the fitness, get people started on, free groups, like free BOD groups and things like that. And I think percentage wise, they got about the same. It's like, I know Dave had 500 people and he got like 50 coaches, I had 100 and I got 10, so it was about the same. And they definitely started before I did, but they used video. So I haven't used video yet, but that's what I want to do next. Is I want to kind of switch from going directly after the coaching opportunity and going out now that, it's officially launched and they have Clean Week and, Team Beachbody on Demand. I'm going to start, running ads for, getting them started for free for people that don't know. Initially, I was going after the market that already knew Beachbody, that had done it for 7 years, were excited about it, were, ready to jump into learning more about coaching. But I think now I'm going to go after the rest of the UK, the people that haven't heard of it or haven't done it or would love to get back into fitness and lose weight and that type of thing.
Awesome, Greg. This is good stuff. The fact that you went after like the coach opportunity post from day one versus, the fitness, now you can start running those free ads or, for, your free 3 clean eating group or whatever it is. So I love that. Does anyone have any questions?
I find personally that ads for free stuff do much better than ads for paid stuff. So if you're not really into, doing ads yet, if you do ads for like clean eating or clean week and stuff like that, you'll pay a lot less per click or per, engagement. So awesome.
Does anyone have any specified questions about, expanding your network or, things that you have specified questions for Greg? Or did Greg just answer all of them from? Well, no, honestly, Greg, this was awesome stuff. I had never heard of it. Was it Insightly, you said?
Yes, that was the CRM system.
Yes, that I definitely wrote that down. I'm going to look more into that. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for being here. Greg, thank you again for being willing to share what you're doing, what's working for you. And if you guys have any questions in regards to what we talked about today, just post underneath the video and I'll tag Greg on it if we have any other questions. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
All right.